New technology has been added to the game. It is a Tier 2 experimental technology called Deterrence Technologies. It unlocks the portable particle decelerator and the force field projector. So once you research it, just like every other research in the game, it'll go in the protolathe. So there's the portable particle decelerator. It's pretty expensive, requires uranium and plasma, and the force field requires plasma as well. So what is a force field projector? Creates an impassable force field that won't let anything through. Close proximity may or may not cause cancer. The force field projector has 6 charges with a medium capacity power cell at least, and it's kind of like a hollow barrier or a hollow fan projector where you press C with it in your hand, and it will create a holographic force field. And the description of it's pretty accurate. Can't throw things through it, can't walk through it, can't jump over it, but lasers actually do pass through it, so that is something worth considering. It might actually end up being a pretty decent anti-nuke tool due to this. Obviously, it's going to be a little difficult to practically use it, but theoretically, if you were to just box yourself in with a force field projector and you had a laser, you could just stand inside and shoot out. Especially if you have an advanced laser pistol, you basically just be an untouchable turret. And if you squash yourself with it, yeah, you can very much get stuck if you don't have something like a table nearby to get out on top of. But yeah, you got to be cautious because it will definitely throw you into walls if you plant it on yourself. But that's also pretty true for a lot of objects. So you just have to be a little cautious about that. The force field projector also stops things like singularities and Teslas. I don't really know how practical that's going to be. I don't think you're ever going to see that actually properly used because that's basically impossible to pull off. Like, how would I ever contain a singularity or a Tesla with this? It can do it, so like if I just put a singularity inside, you'll see that it does indeed not eat out of the holographic force field. So that is very legitimate, is very real, but it will not eat out of its containment, and in this case it actually would die. And that's where we can get into what the portable particle decelerator does. Science can make particle decelerators, but Cargo can also just request them. It is $15,000, but it's a crate that contains 3 of them, and it requires engineering access to open. Inside, there are 3 portable particle decelerators. They require 2 hands to use automatically like a defib, so if you don't have 2 hands, it won't let you pick it up. It has 20 shots in it. It shoots half a shot per second. It does radiation damage, but that's kind of false. It doesn't actually hit people. You can't shoot anyone with it. And it does go, you can shoot it through walls like so. It has the same audio effects as a particle accelerator, but it shoots red projectiles and it's not quite as wide. So basically just imagine you're holding one of these in your hand. I mean, if I turn this way, you can see what I mean. You're literally carrying this thing in a gun form. The difference is that this is a decelerator, this is an accelerator. So what does a particle decelerator actually do? Well, it kills Teslas and singularities. It's actually really useful for killing them if they're in containment and you know the containment's going to be broken or is broken and you need to get rid of it now. It is very, very useful for that. Also, it is pretty decent at stopping a Singulus, but there is 0 chance you're stopping a Tesla loose. If one of you guys who are playing this game actually managed to stop a Tesla loose with this, please tell me the round replay and I want to see it. I don't see anyone ever pulling it off, but that'd be incredible. I think it's like a 1 in a million chance you'll ever be able to kill a Tesla loose with this. But anyways, enough ranting. So if I were to spawn a singularity in the middle there, you can see, well, it does indeed build up and is a real singularity. And I'm just going to put this on screen so you can see how this works. So singularities have energy, and they gain energy if they get hit by a particle accelerator or eat things. So while it's in containment, it's actually really easy to kill. Every time I shoot it, you'll see its energy drop. And if you keep shooting it till it hits 0, well, it will die. That's why I say it's very much possible to stop a Singulus with this. It actually does quite a lot of energy drain on it. Singularities also tend to bounce in random directions, so they're not always eating. And a lot of times they like bounce off into space or like will eat this part of the station specifically and start heading this way. If you could shoot it and weaken it to the point where it's not gigantic, you can very, very easily stop a Singulus with it. So I see this actually saving rounds from a Singularity. A Tesla is a different story. If it's just inside on its own like this, I'll also pull up the view variable so you can see it. So Teslas have energy, and while they're in containment, they actually don't generate too much energy. Every time you shoot it, it will lose about 10 energy. So while a Tesla is actually in its containment like this, it's actually fairly easy to kill it. Otherwise, there's no other way to kill it. So you should really just keep the particle accelerator turned off and just use the decelerator. As soon as I get it past 100, it will die. trying to get away from me. And it's minus 100. Oh, I ran out of ammo. Hold on. And we killed it. This is incredible because you can kill a Tesla if its containment is dying. For example, if you see all the grounding rods break, or you just see that the emitters aren't firing for any reason, you can't figure it out right away. If you have one of these on hand, you can easily kill a Tesla before it goes loose. If I spawn a Tesla like right here, I would put the view variables up right there. Just look how much energy it gains as it's destroying things. If I just actively chase it and shoot it, it does nothing. Even when it resets to 0, it's like, there's no way I can hit it 11 times, 12 times, whatever, to get it to negative 100. It just generates way too much energy. Maybe once everything on the station is dead, you might have a chance, and I do apologize, it's loud, I'm gonna just stop. Even if you were to have 3 or 4 people, I mean, they come in crates of 3, but even if you were to have 3 people actively shooting the Tesla, it just gains too much energy and is way too dangerous to get anywhere near. If you don't all have insulated gloves, all have EVA, you're going to be slowed by the EVA, so chasing the Tesla is basically impossible. I mean, look how much ground it covered in just a few seconds. It teleports randomly, it gets blown around randomly. I just don't see any reasonable way you'll ever stop a Tesla loose, but you could definitely kill it in its crib, so to speak. And I can 100% see it being used to stop a Singularity because, I mean, just in case you somehow haven't seen one, Singularity getting loose even in the middle of the station isn't nearly as destructive as a Tesla. Like, yeah, it eats stuff, but if I was over here, I could safely shoot through walls because it does shoot through walls, it shoots through windows. So I could just sit back here, no problem at all, and shoot it. And even when it's in the middle of the station, this will actually at least do something to slow down its progression and kill it. You might not be able to kill it by yourself, but with a few of you, just trying to keep very safe distance from it and shooting at it through walls could prevent it. Obviously, Singularity is never going to appear directly in the middle of the station. But anyways, yeah, it's a cool, nifty little item that got added. I expect to see people at least use as a Hail Mary attempt. They're kind of expensive at Cargo. 15k isn't all that much, and Cargo's probably willing to dish out $15,000, you know, in order to not have the station be consumed. But science is also a possibility to get them from, so go ask both departments as an engineer. Anyways, it's really not all that complicated. It's a pretty cool gadget, though. I think last-ditch effort stuff is pretty cool, and I think it's probably fine that it can't really stop a Tesla loose, but it can stop a Singularity. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope to see y'all try to use it in-game.